Coach, talk a little bit about your off season, and even though you did lose a few key seniors, including great running back in James Poche, you do return quite a bit of talent. I know you have to be excited about that.
Yeah, we really are. I think we've had a great off season, especially like what we've seen in the weight room. I think this is one of the most explosive groups we've had since I've been through. A lot of key players that we have to replace. As you mentioned, starting with James Poche, he had the second most rushing yards we've had in 20 years here. So one of those guys that you can't expect to just replace. But I do think we have a lot of strengths we can build around. Obviously, Martin Butcher returning, then Murray Calhoun, Jermone Sutherland. They've been fantastic, especially in our 7-on-7 work. Really had a nice outing at LSU. We were able to win that tournament and really like to see our guys compete there. But we're really excited about our guys up front. Brandon Williams leads that defensive line. Really, our front seven on defense returns intact. While we lost a lot of guys in the secondary, we do like those guys, and we've worked really hard to build our offensive line. We've made some moves where we actually have size-wise, we're pretty solid. 2 or 3 starters back, but I think they've worked really hard. I think obviously the biggest thing for us this year, don't look in the rearview mirror. We just say stay humble, stay hungry, focus on what we're doing, and we're really excited. Our staff's excited, our kids are excited, but again, it's all about just getting better every day and hopefully building around the guys we have coming back.
Now, I know it didn't end in the playoffs the way that you wanted to, but I mean, just to start out 11-0 and just the excitement around among your alumni and coming out here, and it's such a beautiful place to play, and you had the place packed for all your games last year. I don't think your fan base maybe hadn't been this excited in quite a while.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair thing. I think when we got to 10-0, we got to really measure and see the teams in the past that have done it. We're only talking 5 or 6 teams in the history of our school that have done it. Go back to I think 1948, and we took a lot of pride in that. I think that the biggest thing our kids talked about was selflessness. It wasn't about the individual. We just had a great group of kids, and the community was unbelievable. I think that really one of the other benchmarks was we never even won a quarterfinal home playoff game.
Right.
So there was an off week we hadn't done that, so it was a big win there. And obviously I think that the community's excited, our alumni is excited, but I guess put it that way where it was tough how it ended, but losing to the state champion, watching them, obviously they beat us decisively, but they won the state championship decisively. We learned a lot from that. I think it didn't break us, it built us up, and I think we can grow from that experience. So it's easy to focus on last game, but you look at what those guys accomplished, we're awful proud, and I think it's kind of flowed over into this year. Trust me, everybody's as excited, if not more, for this year, and nobody holds us to a bigger standard than I do, and it was a really special season, and I think hopefully it's going to continue into this one.
Coach, let's start with your offense as far as personnel wise, and you can't say Martin Butcher enough, but it's one thing to get an elementary quarterback, it's another thing to get them with the receivers that you have coming back, and you talk about Jermone Sutherland and just this plethora of talent you got, and I know you have to be excited about your O-line as well. Just talk about the offense in general and what you're expecting.
Well, I think that one of the biggest, obviously you having watched us here, we loved our ball distribution. We really, really want to be a complete offense, and with 2 of the guys coming back, there were 2 of our leading receivers with Murray Calhoun, Jermone Sutherland.
First down and 10 from the 38, and again, man in motion is Charbonnet, and the handoff goes to it's a fake, and then wide open, and it's caught. Sutherland inside the 30, he breaks free. 20, 10, 5, touchdown Newman Greenies. Jermone Sutherland with a 62-yard touchdown reception. Nope.
No,
they're going to throw the ball out to the left side, going deep, and it's caught, and it is in the end zone. Touchdown Newman. Number 10, Murray Calhoun, with a 40-yard reception from Martin Butcher, and Newman strikes first.
Both have, game-breaking speed, block well, run good routes. They've had great summers, and we can really be creative with them. And I think, as you allude to the offensive line, we have a guy in Preston Snell that we think the world of. He's a captain. He's a starting D tackle. He's going to be kind of an Iron Man for us. He's up to almost 240 pounds now. He'll man the center position. Colin Moss returns at the guard position. Duncan Oliphant, a real big 275-pound offensive guard. We made some moves with guys. A guy like Hampton Gamillo's a defensive end, put 10 or 15 pounds on the tackle. And then obviously I think Brandon Williams is actually going to be able to help us a little bit on the O-line. He's too good of a talent not to.
Right.
He looked great in spring. We moved him over there. So we feel really good about at least the start of that group together. In the backfield, we're fortunate. We have 2 kids that have really kind of stepped up this offseason. and T.J. Bush and Joseph Pleasant. They have different running styles where Joseph's more of a power runner, James Poche. T.J. is a multi-purpose back. He's caught the ball well, so we think we're going to let those guys compete. And I think, obviously in today's offense, it's good to have two. And I think finish with Martin. I think, Martin's so special because, he ultimately when it comes down to quarterback because he's winning football games. He's only lost one football game. That was the last one he's been out with. And
3 receivers to the right. Poche stands just to the right of Butcher, who's in the pistol. Takes it, looks to throw. Is going deep again, and it's caught again. Dylan Hill, touchdown Newman. Wow. 30 yards. The first one was 40. This one's 30. And Newman's up 2 scores.
With and he's really gotten better. Mark's put about 15 pounds on. He runs a 4.5 in the 40. You haven't seen him do that a lot, but this year he'll probably be able to run the ball more. His accuracy's good. He's really focused on his footwork. I think that if you look at him, he's a lot more polished. Where he was great last year, I think he can get to a whole nother level this year. So we've seen the same thing out of him so far this offseason in terms of the ball distribution. But I think his deep ball's gotten better. He can push downfield more. He understands fronts coverages. So we're obviously excited, but I'm obviously just excited to have the opportunity to coach those kids again.
When you lose a Poche, do you change the offense at all? Do you obviously every coach makes tweaks in the offseason, but do you change things when you lose a 1,000-yard rusher?
I think you have to. I think one of the things that, I always say at Newman School, we take pride. Our recruiting's done in the admissions office. It's these kids who we have to create the offense off our strengths each year. We knew last year that James, we were hoping could be a 20 to 25 carry guy. He was, and we really built everything off that. And that was great to us throughout, even to obviously the state semifinals. And this year, I do think those two have the makings of it, but we're going to have to build and see where they are. I think sometimes our short intermediate game is as good as run. So while you don't always pass it 40 times a game, I do think we can ramp that up a little more, play to our strengths. But I do think no matter what, we are going to have to establish our run game. That's one thing we talked about year in, year out. Our best seasons, we have had a good running attack. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be a workhorse all the time. You can divide and conquer with that.
Right.
But yeah, I think we definitely have a little bit different mold, a little bit more multiple, maybe the way we spray it to our running backs. But yeah, I think that's something we take pride in, going back to the Odell Beckham years where we had our option routes on the outside, then Jay Tyler. We really try and work to mold what those guys do. Where our heartbeat and our foundation's the same, it is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah. Talk about your schedule a little bit, Coach, and the pre-district schedule. You have some tough games in there, and I know that's where you kind of get a gauge on everything. But just start with the pre-district schedule and what you think you can get out of that.
Yeah, I think that we actually start all the way. We like starting our scrim at St. Thomas Aquinas, playing in the state quarterfinals.
Right.
That'd be a great place to start. Kind of get a gauge, Division III where we are. Going into Sophie B. Wright in the Jamboree, really athletic and up and coming school. They have some guys signed. That's great for us to see that level of speed. We're excited for that. Going to McMain, new coach coming in out of that car coaching tree where we know right there they're going to just be crisp on offense, push it downfield. It's been a great rivalry game for us, a program that was just great under Kevin Roussel, a guy I respected so much, and that's been a great way to start as we go there. Refs going to play really well. Thomas Jefferson, Kevin Kelly, a group that's going to come in here. I think every time we see them, they just get a little better. They're working again. Playing, a school we don't get to see a lot, but I've known them for years. A lot of respect for that program. And East Jefferson is one that was a very physical game for us last year. And Frank Aiello, that was one where, you're going to have to work to get every yard. Very athletic, very physical. That's that 4A, 5A brand of football where we come in. You're going to have to be playing great there. Going to
you don't play a lot of offenses like you're going to see against.
No, we like that. I think that's a really good challenge for us. And that's the highest compliment I can pay. Is they're going to make you work. They're going to make you scheme. And I think that's why they're on there. We have to play great programs like that. So again, right there. Then we've got Berwick coming in, our new coach.
Well, that's quarterback.
Yeah, he is something. We
two different from East Jefferson to Berwick. You couldn't get any different.
No, and I think that's where what's fun about it is that with EJ, they're going to run the inside outside. I don't know Frank likes playing, but Berwick all over the yard. So that'll be tough. Great neighborhood game. We'll go play the Lusher Lions. under their new coach, Coach JJ, does a really good job. He's excited. They have an all-star coaching staff. I think they have more NFL guys than we've had.
You got 2 neighborhood games.
Yeah, we do, and it'll be fun. So we'll go over there, and then Country Day. I know everybody gets excited in that game. It'll be nice to play here. We've been on the road twice under Coach Shango, and really that's a program I've always respected. I think Steve Victory, Richard Wood, they've just always won consistently. They've always had a great brand of football. I think they're going to be great this year. They have a lot of guys back. Justin Ibieta, Ross Talbot. They have so many guys to build around.
Right. Are you a kind of coach that has the same kind of goals every season, or do you swap them up depending on what you have and what are your goals coming into the season?
Well, I know sometimes you hear about coach speak, but I really think it's so important that you maximize and have the most success as possible. I think we focus on each week for each week, and I think that gets said a lot, but we mean that. We add the team on huddle that week. We do it as we go. We just have total and complete focus on everybody as we go through. And I think you always have high expectations. You want to get in those situations. I mean, whether we've been in the John Curtis League or St. Charles, we've always held ourselves to the highest possible standard. I think the most important thing is it's a 7-day work week. We're going to work our tails off on Sunday to put these kids in position with a good game plan. I really love that our staff's back intact. I mean, the longer I do it, it's really about the seniors and the guys that are in place, and we've done that. We have high aspirations, we really do, but we're so focused week to week where it's almost like you get to the end of the movie, you're saying, well, here we are. I remember it was Thanksgiving. I just looked around and said, wow, that went by fast.
Yeah.
And we always want to think we're close. We always want to be in the conversation. I think that's what's important. You look at Division III and maybe be a little better football team this year. So I think every year you have to hold yourself to the highest possible standard and see what happens.
Is this the most excitement that's been around here since you were playing and some kid named Eli was quarterback?
It's hard. It's funny. I've been in 20 years, especially, I've had so many different eras. I think that I almost clump them. When I came in, there was a kid named Wes Luquette that threw it all over the yard. He was really exciting. And then as Odell Beckham came in, we were really excited with who he did. And I think with Jay Tyler Kendall Bussey and Drew Druyer, we were close. We got to the semis. I think it's the first time we've come back and so many guys back after having a successful year that are back. Focus. But yeah, obviously, I think with coming in, it's nice when your community's behind you the way they have been, and there's a little buzz for sure, but we just try and turn the volume down and focus up. But it is always nice when your community's that excited.
Winning breeds winning, right?
Yeah, I hope so. And I think that we appreciate it. It's like we told the kids when you go back and look. When you coach groups, it's good to be in the conversation. When you deal with, I was on the Manning teams in 93, my brother on Eli's in 98, the Reginelli years in 77 and early 70s. We take a lot of pride, obviously, in the history of our program. And, that's it. We're going to see what we can do, but, we're awfully excited about what's promised.
Coach Nelson Stewart, thanks for joining.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.